Welcome to SaturJay, where we're gonna do some World of Final Fantasy. Just wanted to try and make it rhyme. Hey. Where is the World of Final Fantasy? There it is, indeed it is. It's over here, indeed. I'm just gonna get this microphone repositioned, which may mean there's weird noises. But never mind. You should be used to weird noises by now. Right. Play the world of Final Fantasy. That is kind of the point. If I was not playing the world of Final Fantasy, it would be not SaturJay RPG, it would be another day. Another day, doing other things. Square Enix, Tosco, Orochi Free, Bishamon, Cryware. But I wanted to play a different game. Wah, wah, wah. That's Cry. That's what you sound like, Cryware. Yeah. I told them real good. Oh, what are we going to get?
World of Final Fantasy.
Fortuitously, it's the one voice I usually recognise, which is Lightning's voice. It's got quite a distinctness to it. Oh, we were at another train station, weren't we? Gonna go have a wander. Oh, we'd already done that treasure chest, so I must have backed down and gone back to the save point, which is fair enough. So I think it's time to.
Right, tickets, please.
I've got a lifetime ticket, haven't I? I was going to say, but yeah, I've got no choice but to board the
Go
train
on, then.
if I want to
All
progress
aboard.
at least. All aboard the
We would
choo-choo.
like to take a moment now to kindly remind all our passengers to remain in their seats facing forward. Please fasten your seatbelts at
But
this time.
what if the
Seatbelts on a train?
seat doesn't
What are they
face
for?
forward? Because there looks to be like seats facing one way and seats facing the other way. Now, can you truly be facing forward if you're on the seats that are facing the back of the train? Because technically, when you're seated, you would be facing forward. It's quite the dilemma, isn't it? No, it's not. You're overthinking it. And we are going off into the sky.
3, 2, lift off!
This is going to be the craziest train ride you've ever done seen. I say that, you might have seen crazier trains. Doo-doo, choo-choo, motherfucker. We're going up into space. I'm not sure if there's not been an actual Final Fantasy set in space. There's been a few that have sort of dabbled in some space, you know, especially like, you know, you often get space in the sort of meteors. Also, we've ended up underwater, it would seem, which is impressive. Oh, we were going to Besaid, weren't we? I remember now.
Wow.
So theoretically, we might meet Tidus, Waka, Lulu. I don't think Lulu's in it, but I don't think you could do her justice with a chibi form, but I might be wrong. But yeah, this is going to be Besaid Beach, isn't it? I'd forgotten until just moments ago. I like the fact that that train does look like it's got a snorkel. Very clever. I mean, pretty much all of this game. Although, having said that, that does not look like it does not immediately look like Besaid. That looks like it's the Final Fantasy VIII
Aloha, and a warm
coastal
welcome to the
location, but I might be wrong.
Oh, I am now loving this weather.
Not bad, is it?
It makes me just want to laugh out loud.
If it weren't so, if it didn't look.
I have no idea how to react to that, so I'm just gonna ignore you. Now, what do you say we head for that town over there?
Okay. Just a fun fact for anybody who's unaware, he was directly referencing a scene from Final Fantasy X there. Hence why we are, you know, hence the fact that we're in Besaid, and he did a reference to Final Fantasy X. It is the what can only be described as infamous scene where Tidus and Yuna are laughing. But I mean, as insane as that scene is, and I suppose arguably I don't know whether it would work in real life, I'd have probably just punched him in the fucking face. Fucking stop laughing, you dickhead. You're drawing way too much attention to us. Stop it. Stop it. But strictly speaking, it did cheer her up, which was technically the goal set out by doing the stupid laughing. So, yeah, as ridiculous as it was, technically it's a scene that worked perfectly with what it was trying to put forth. It was trying to put forth she was a bit sad, I think. I think it was that way round, anyway. Can't quite recall. Thank you very much. There you go. Sometimes it is worth talking to all the random people, because sometimes the random people give you random stuff. And you can then save that stuff until the end. I can't guarantee I'm going to do that. But yeah, this is certainly not Besaid. It is, okay, fair enough. They've taken the name. Or I'm getting confused.
We've got a temple in the deep to find. Why don't we start by asking around?
I might be getting confused.
The sunken temple?
It does...
Everyone around here's heard about it. But since
I'm massively certain Besaid is Final Fantasy X. I suppose it might exist elsewhere. But this is not the architecture of Final Fantasy X. There is... it's plausible that they've kept the architecture that they've defined in here. But it did look... From a distance, it really did look a little bit more like... the port town you explore in Final Fantasy VIII, but
this letter just isn't
it's a fusion of everything, isn't it? There's unique designs, there's reference to Final Fantasy all over the place, and just generally everything.
You wouldn't happen to have any you can spare, would you?
Ooh, I think I might have some fish scales, yes. Do I have fish scales for you immediately? Objectives met, yes, I think so.
Thanks a bunch.
Hey!
Now I'm finally
I
confident enough
do
to give
like
her
a
my letter.
quest like that. I like a quest where they go, do you have? And I go, yes. And they go, thank you, and we're
It's
done.
kind of a family tradition.
Instead of having to faff around going and getting things.
Giving them fish scales will
I know.
ensure they say yes.
Absolute lazy
Don't
beyond
laugh.
comparison.
I get it. I know
I
that
can't
fish
help
scales
myself.
aren't exactly the
It's
first thing that
just
comes
the
to mind when people
way
think about
I
romance.
am.
But if you ever
I
really looked at them, they're one of the
have
most
always
beautiful
been
things out there.
unfathomably
you really helped me out.
lazy.
Here, this is for you.
A dispel seed. That will give me the ability to dispel things from one of my sort of open slots. The open slots I have refrained from using any of so far. So far in the game. I know it's silly, but what can I say? It's a little bit like items. In fairness, the seeds are items, but it's one of those ones where it's like, I don't know if I really want to use these seeds. I don't know which monsters I really want to keep for certain. So which ones and which seeds do I put in which monsters? There's so many options. It is option overload, and I've gone, I'll just leave it.
But you're the first to ever ask me about the sunken temple right off the bat.
Well, that's all we're interested in. So, you know, if you know where the sunken temple is,
It sounds like everyone's heard about the temple we're after.
it should be easy enough to find them.
None of these people have actually been
Oh,
there.
dang.
What'd you expect? It's the temple in the deep. You think people would call it that if it was swimmable?
Riku might be
Well, look
able
at
to
it.
swim it.
The train probably
And if we
doesn't
are in
stop there
Final Fantasy
either.
X land, Riku might turn up again.
Pantologist.
Oh,
Wow!
that's not Final Fantasy X. That's Final Fantasy 11 or 14. Or, no, I don't think 14.
Pants must be serious business.
I don't think 14 existed here, so I
Pantologist study.
think.
The prefix is pan.
Neat.
Not those pans.
It's so
As in
thick.
all. Like they do a little of everything.
Oh, well, if they do a little of everything, then maybe they can do a little of helping us get down
I
to
do
that
feel like
sunken
this is
temple.
a Final Fantasy
Let's hit the
11 one.
pants.
Wait, Mom!
What that means. And there's also some kind of a curse makes it less worse. There we go. I get the impression if you knew the character, I get the impression that might give you a clue.
Looks like the place.
But I don't think I know the character. Is that? Yes, it is. I was going to say I don't think there's a way of getting up there, so that is the best we can do. Also, I suppose it's a different art style, but I do still dislike it when they put chests that are not openable in. Now, as I say, granted, it's a differing shape and a differing style, so that does make it, make it at least a little bit separated. But it is still slightly irksome when you find like a chest and you go, oh yes, I want that. And then it turns around and goes, no, I'm a fake chest. I don't do real chest. Might be Shantotto.
Now the test
It is Shantotto.
will end in success.
See, that's where I only really know the character from here and possibly one of the others. I think she might turn up in Dissidia
Was I a
Final
quart of
Fantasy.
ingredients short?
But yeah, I've got a
Service,
feeling,
please.
I might be
God,
mistaken,
ever
I've got a
heard of
feeling
manners?
that is Final Fantasy
goes there?
11, the online
Oh
one.
my. I
The first of
rarely
the online
cross
one,
paths
most
with a
technically.
giant pair.
So tell me, are you the Pan Mighty person from the ad?
Yes. That's the gist. How can I assist?
She does a bit of this, she does a bit of that, she does a bit of it. Oh, and she's got a chocolate button
Sunken
for a
temple?
nose.
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm sure that's
maybe
meant
you
to be a
could give us
species
magic
trait.
spell, you know, something
But
that lets us breathe
I
underwater.
don't know,
Maybe
it's
some magic
weird.
pants?
Breathe underwater.
Did you just ask for magic
Whether it's
pants?
gills or spells you want, a solution can be met. But the sea is its own kind of hell. You're almost certain to regret. The currents will leave you blind.
She also speaks in
And
rhyme.
it's so big you'll be bored out of your mind.
It gets a little
That's
tiresome from
discouraging.
time to time.
Well, hang on. We can handle a little certain regret.
Yeah. If you know a solution, then we'd really appreciate
It's also
it if you could
potentially
help us out.
contagious.
So come on, please.
Well, if you're quite certain that that is your
Between
desire,
me and
perhaps you're just
shit,
what I
I'm
require.
ending up saying
Excuse me?
Uranus.
Excellent. We'll start
That was the
with
only rhyme
dance.
for contagious I could
You
think
see,
of.
you can't do two total losers at once.
Oh, what are you doing?
Can't breathe.
Lon! Hey, what's wrong? What did you do to him?
There. He simply can no longer breathe air.
Why not?
Oh, come now, darling, use your head. You wanted to swim like the fishes, you said. But a fish out of water is soon to be dead.
Are you some kind of murderer?
Oh my. After I do you a favor, this is how you choose to repay me. My dear, don't make me angry.
I'll fuck you up. Well, I've only got one character, so
Her magic power
the op
is
fucking might be
incredible.
difficult.
Rain, maybe you should consider the apologizing.
Never.
What?
Rain doesn't
But
apologise.
I...
She summons thunder!
Please forgive me. No!
Dang it. Thunder didn't work as well as I was hoping. I don't think we're going to have... Yeah, we're going to want a Libra. So let's try and get some information. Just automatic thunder. You've annoyed me. Thunder! So we have no idea of the health bar. No obvious weaknesses, which is a bit of a shame. Complete immunity to ailments, of course. It's a boss. Why not? And unimprisonable. So I am mostly displeased at this fact. Quake, is that going to just do... Yeah. Yeah, it is. I get the impression it was set to a volume that was basically more than your party could handle at any point in time. But there you go. We've been put in barrels. Barrels of water. Is that Rain? Chill out. Remember, you can breathe underwater now. Well,
Wait.
logically, Lan could, therefore now she can.
Hey, sis.
So Lan handled that situation a lot better. For once.
Oh, you've decided to await. Well, off you go with these 2 flakes.
Hey, there he is, Tidus.
You got it.
I suspect if they ever name him, it's going to be Tidus, and that's going to annoy me. But there you go. Is he going to full on... Oh no, he's just going to carry us. Interesting. I thought he was going to do the old drop kick. His little spiral shot. I didn't mind him as a character, and I did really enjoy his fighting style in Final Fantasy X. That sort of quite fluid, speedy swords, and all of his. I think they were called limit breaks in Final Fantasy X. Might be wrong. Fairly certain they were. But nonetheless, they were all very entertaining, I thought.
Whoa, check it out! We're in the ocean and we're actually breathing!
I hope you like it, because we can't breathe anywhere else.
Don't you worry. I've been to the sunken temple a bunch of times.
Excellent. Oh, we actually...
Just a minute.
Oh yeah, we are actually
Does this
doing some
mean
swimming.
We can't return to Ninewood Hills?
Well... No, that's a magical
You can
realm.
still go
Yeah,
back
I was going to
there.
say.
Hey, I didn't know
I don't really know where I'm actually supposed to be going, but...
Don't go to confusing me with your average mortal. I'm special.
Okay, but then why didn't you just go to the temple for us?
What? Are you the crazy? Every inch between us and that key is crawling with a mirage of mirages. I mean, a barrage of mirages. If you sit me in there alone, I'd get annihilated.
Sorry. So, did you mean it when you said that we could go back to Ninewood Hills?
Well, that place isn't just immune to the time. It can dispel the magic and other mystical manipulations.
Oh, they're magical blades.
So, that means you can go back to Ninewood Hills without the choking to death.
Thank goodness. Although, I guess that means we won't be able to travel anywhere else, huh?
Let's just finish our dunk to the sunken temple, and... Wait, if we find the key, will we change back?
No guarantees of that.
Don't worry. Dr. Shantoto gave
there
me
you
the
go.
antidote
Excellent.
to the curse.
What a relief. I thought we'd end up stuck like this. Wait, did you say curse?
Dude!
Yeah. I mean, curses are the doc's specialty.
First we've heard of that. Well, as long as she's planning on fixing...
Oh,
Sort
where
of.
did I get 4 high potions from?
Said, tell those twin losers the antidote costs.
Oh,
So
here's
bring
a-
me Quattro
there's a little-
Ruby, or they can get lost.
Yeah, there's a little Quattro
So good
thing
luck.
there.
I'm
But yeah,
not
I'm not
crossing her.
entirely sure.
She said all that?
Twin losers? What? Where did she get off
99% certain you do get
Lon is the loser
Titus's
here.
medal
the
thing
name calling?
as well. So
Question for you.
I think he does a chibi version of the Spiral
Oh, good point.
blade
What is a quattro?
special he's got.
A Quattro?
I might be wrong.
There's some right over
There's
there.
penguins,
They're
all
queen
the
crabs'
penguins.
red tears,
Yeah.
which are called Quattro Rubies.
Now I see. But those sound like they must be just about impossible to get.
True enough. They say she only sheds 1 tear every decade. The rubies go for at least 100 million gil.
100 mil?
I swear, that is the last time I ever consult a pantologist.
Hey, Titus, how come you can breathe
Yeah.
underwater?
See,
Well, if you've tossed enough blitz balls around. Huh?
What?
there we go. I think is that. Yeah, I was gonna say that's what we stumbled into last time, and I just
I'll
didn't
tell you about
notice
it
the
some
first
other
time. I enjoyed Blitzball as a minigame. I liked Blitzball. I enjoyed sort of building up the team and
Hey,
doing the
there it
ranks.
is.
I know some people liked the idea of sort of just sticking to the original core Besaid Oryx, I believe they were called. But I liked getting all the special characters. Like I liked the fact that you could get Walker back in there and redeem his
Okay, I'll be
awfulness
waiting back at the
Blitzball.
surface. Good luck
And
finding
you
that
could also get
Quattro
Brother.
Ruby.
Yep, got it covered.
You could get
Hey,
Brother,
just
which
don't
was
forget why we originally
well,
came here.
he's I just,
You know,
it's a weird
if we
one.
found enough of them, we
Was
could
he the
all
brother
be
of Riku, or was his
stinking
name
rich.
Brother, or was it both?
Oh, I like your
I don't think
style,
anybody really
Tama.
knew.
Hear that? We're gonna find a Quattro zillion rubies.
I'll say it again. Don't forget why we're here.
The key
Let's
of
just
water.
find the key, get the
Oh, there we
ruby we
go.
need,
Suddenly,
and trade
we're
for
no
the
longer
antidote.
swimming.
Rubies, rubies, baby, I wanna be a Quattro zillionaire.
Maybe I don't like Lan because he's just a little too close to home. It's one of those ones where I see him and it annoys me because it's like looking in a mirror. And deep down, truly, deeply, 100%, I loathe myself. And thus,
Right, let's do this.
when he's
Here we go!
portrayed as the moron, I think, I don't like him. Oh, I understand now. Right, I think we need to scan some stuff. Only the main sea serpent, so do we definitely have him on? And Libra. Why has Lee got a bra on? Because Lee is in fairness a generic name. Genderless, I suppose, actually what it meant. Generic is a bit unreasonable. Oh, look who's going to come into her own. Although we do need to use water attacks to create a Prism Tunity. Well, I tell you what, let's take a chance and whack it first. Ooh, that was a hefty whackaroo. But then we should... I gave away all my bloody fish scales, didn't I? What a nuisance, what a pain, what an unbelievable situation. Right, so you were doing quite a lot of damage, weren't you? So, let's consider the notion of finding our ability to do water. Okay, so yeah, we gave away all of our fish scales. We only had the 5. Which means the only ability to do water we've got... Are you going to absorb water or are you just resistant? Resistant, okay. So, with a bit of luck... The dragon scale... Yeah. Won't kill it, but will open up to the Prism Tunity. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. Excellent. Sometimes the world doesn't have to shit in your coffee. Oh, no. Okay, tell a lie. The world has to shit in your coffee. There we go. Go on. One more go. Come on. This time. This time's the one. We all believe. No. Okay. Fine. Come on. This one's the one. We all believe. We all believe in this one being the one. Nope. Okay. Clearly the next one's the one. When's the one not the one? When the one is the one that's coming up next. Next one's the one. Come on. There we go. Caught it. I've got myself, my hands are on another lovely little sea dragon. Now, Thunderbolt. Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening, especially if you are under the water. I could possibly try reinvigorating my stacks, but I think we only just recently reinvigorated my stacks last time round, didn't we? Plus, I do want the Thunderbolts, so... I suppose I could try and figure out, is there an alternative? Valafoy's wind, if it's fire, of course. Robobottom... I don't think he actually has electrical maneuvers, but I might be wrong. There we go. A sea dragon that excels at water attacks and commands a powerful tsunami ability. It even knows how to swim on land. Try doing that in your backyard. Luckily, I don't need to try and swim on land. Looks good, and send it home. Leave it with Seraphine. Off you go. You're just going to live in the box now. Yes. You shall all live in the box. Eventually, everything will be inside of my box. All of life. All of everything. Stack setup, that's what I was after. Well, no, technically I'm after abilities to check in if Robobottom is worthwhile sort of factoring in. Charge. Charge was its own... Oh, recovery of AP, that's fair enough, but... Yeah, it's not got any specific thundery moves. Thunder is there. Thunder, Thunderbolt, Thunder... Fire. Yeah, but theoretically, does this one not have... I mean, channel element, yeah, fair enough, but no, it doesn't. I just feel like, theoretically, with the Thundada from Zapped and the Thunder from your girl, but I suppose maybe it has to be 2 Thundadas. But anyway, without any obvious sort of requirement, I might as well leave the stacks as they are.
We can walk.
It's almost a shame I don't have... I suppose I could have tried to go sort of maximum
right.
Maximum defense for Lan.
But, like, shouldn't we be floating?
I think that this temple must have some kind of
Yes.
special power.
Age-old reasoning.
It works.
Magic.
Since some kind of force
that keeps people and mirages from the drifting too far away.
Hey, you're right. Something's keeping us way down.
But on the bright
There's a
side,
treasure chest on the
it's
side of
just
the
like
wall,
being
isn't
on
there?
solid the ground. That's
I wondered what it
especially
was.
helpful for you two, right?
Just identified it.
Also,
It was just a sort of
this is
strange
just
wooden
a
block,
wild
it felt
guess,
like.
but
Whoa! No way!
Are we...
in
Oh,
some
yeah.
areas, the walls have their own gravity, which lets us do cool the stuff like this.
I wasn't sure how you were going to get that treasure chest. It's just been revealed. So, we can go... Now, that's intriguing as well. We want to go around the corner first, because it looks like this one is a dead end. Now, oh, no, it's not a dead end, because you can climb along the wall. Well, we shall possibly try and climb along the wall. But obviously we will want to go back inside as well. So, what to do first? I
guess we're doing this.
Come on!
I think both paths lead to the same outcome, so we can just sort of go through one, back through the other, and through the other again. Well, Thunderbolt! Thundara would be more concentrated, but I think with Lan as a backup attacker, Thunderbolt should make the battle slightly quicker. I would suspect that is going to be the case. It's difficult to tell for absolute certain. Yeah, because I think a Thunderbolt and a standard attack... Alright, Thunderbolt and Lan's standard attack is plentiful. And we'll have to check in. If there's any other obvious weaknesses that present themselves, I might try and reinvigorate Lan's stack to match that, but truth be told, I don't have every single option under the sun when it comes to elements, so... Woo!
This is fun!
It's also quite trippy on the
To
controls to a
admit,
certain
it
extent.
is.
I'm a ninja.
Not so bad, but
I'm pretty sure.
it does make you sort of... It does make you think.
Find that ruby! Baby, I don't wanna be a quadrillionaire.
God damn it. Now the fox creature's being embarrassing as well.
Okay.
They're all being embarrassing. It is unfortunate. Thunderbolt! Thunderbolt! There we go, I know. I've just been embarrassing as well. Right, what we might try and do is if we'll test if Lan's attack can kill the big fella. Because it's plausible. Whereas Rain's attack might be able to kill the lesser of the dragons. We'll see. Yeah, that's the strats. That's the one thing when you've got sort of defined battles. Which, I must admit, I never really knew about that until I sort of... a good fair few years ago now, but
No.
I didn't
it was
really
something about a key.
get that as a concept until I had a go at the RPG Maker. Because I thought it was all just sort of like random, random encounters. I thought it was full on. The enemies within that encounter are randomised, but they actually aren't. They're sort of they're pre-designed groups. You can see it a bit more in this one than most others, but yeah. You have pre-designated volumes of creatures that turn up in battle. I suppose the more optimal way of doing it is inflict sleep, blimey. The optimal way of doing things is, of course, to have many different groupings of monsters, because then it does feel a lot more random. But yeah, I only really sort of appreciated the idea of it being... I don't think any of my abilities can sleep at this point, so we'll just double check. No. So what we'll do is we'll try attacking with you. See, it's quite a lot of damage. And so we'll probably best not attack again, but we'll just double check once more. Nope. So, do we have an item that is going to be able to do that? We've got one dream powder. I really need more supplies. Okay, he is asleep. Now, do you still have subdue? Yes, you do. Okay, let's go subdue. And then hopefully... Yeah, we might... Oh, no. Okay. We'll do subdue once more. Yes. One more subdue. Because the imprisoning chance doesn't actually rely on him being asleep. It's merely the singular infliction of sleep. Hence why waking him up with subdues wasn't unreasonable. However, if I'm not lucky... Oh, yeah, that's the one. Well, having said that, I don't have any real substantial desire to have it. I mean, it's basically a night version of the shark I already possess. And I cannot say I'm that fussed about having it, but, you know. A shark wall in jungle camo. Watch out for those sneak attacks. Wait, hold on a second. How does jungle camouflage even work outside the jungle? Talk about a fish out of water. Technically speaking, of course, they're making the joke. And I was thinking, you know, it's silly putting him in jungle camo, but of course, technically speaking, I do quite like the name Night Squall. No, it looks good, that's fine. But, you know, there is a lot of, you know, even just in this temple alone, there's a lot of greenery, as can be quite clearly seen there. Lots and lots of greenery. I think the correct path is the stairs. There's a treasure chest over here, though, so we'll go here first. Of course. Always trying to find the treasure chest.
Okay, here we go.
I won't hold back.
I don't want you to hold back. I want you to go full force. Sufficient force that's a thunderbolt force. All of the thunderbolt force. Probably better, since he's going first, we'll take out the substantial one. Assuming, you know, assuming he can, but previously he was able to. And just in case it wasn't obvious, technically I don't have to have them both in giant form if I didn't want to. I could drop Lan or Rain. Probably not Rain, because obviously thunder. But I could drop Lan into chibi form if I wanted to. Lilikin, technically. Being pedantic. But yes,
That wasn't so bad.
I tend to have them in the same form. I don't know why. I suppose it's just... meh. Excellent. Excellent. You are the smartest boy in the world. With your... I like the columns. I like the smashed column. It's got a nice texture on top of it. It's quite delightful to behold.
Come on, bring it.
Let's begin.
Oh, it's the Sharky boys. So I think you're relatively weak to death, so we'll get rid of you first. I think the sharks are... I could probably take advantage of a lightning weakness, I'm assuming. Yeah, pretty much everything underwater is weak to thunder. But I must admit, what we might do is just take a moment to do a cheeky bit of healing there. And then... Do you have any cheeky healing? Not really. What's the health bar at the moment? No, it's probably just worthwhile attacking. We'll have you... Oh, there you go. That'll work out nicely. We'll have another cheeky heal with my boy, who should now focus on the sister. Marvellous. And now you should have enough punch to kill the shark. Excellent. Either that or we want to jump over the shark.
Predictable.
That would just be silly. That's the point of the phrase, by the way. If you were unaware, that is the purpose of the phrase. Oh, yes. Righty-tighty, toty-doo. Is there a sneaky... Oh, there may be some sneaky bits here, because this doesn't open up into a path. Difficult to know for certain. We shall... Never mind. We shall have a battle against the sea dragons. And then we'll do a little thing that makes it so much fun. I know. But I was trying to do a Shantotto. It's quite difficult to do a Shantotto in an improvised fashion. Well, it is for me anyway. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who could rhyme on demand easily enough. But I find it quite tough.
That wasn't so bad.
To formulate a rhyme within one's head. Takes a while. But I'll just ask Fred.
Hey, check out these big statues.
Hey buddy, can you think of a rhyme?
Is each of these a famous Quacho?
No, it's alright. Take your
They all
time.
look the same to me.
I know.
That's quatchism. Yeah? That's quatchism. And we will not have quatchism in this house. You leave now. Oh, there's the big boy. It is basically the same thing. Yeah, pretty certain it's exactly the same thing. They do tend to have slightly differing manoeuvres, but the fundamental model is the same. Bestow bravery. I can actually do that. Don't know if I really need to, but I can actually do it. So I suppose let us. Oh, what were your thoughts on fire? Resistant. We do have light, but that doesn't help. What were your thoughts on wind? Indifferent to wind, so that could be an option. Keep an eye on its health bar. Because I might as well try and capture it, I suppose, since it is technically here. I mean, it's not technically here, it is right in front of me, but it's just the evolution of the other shark wall, the night shark wall, or night wall, or whatever. Fuck me! Which means actually having it in my possession is not hugely necessary, because you could always just evolve the night shark wall. However, I don't particularly plan on doing it with doing that with the shark wall. I don't plan on doing it with the shark wall either, but just trying to keep the sort of keep the health bar present so that I can assess where it is. Now, that didn't work, did it? Bollocks. I bet that's because I changed settings yesterday. So I'm going to have to rechange all those settings and redo everything. Let me just double check. But welcome, Albion. Welcome. But I'm pretty certain that didn't work. Fuck me! Fuck me! Oh, it did work. Interesting. Okay. But it felt like that first one didn't. Diddly. In fact, I'm massively certain that first one didn't work, because otherwise I would have heard it. Fuck me! Fuck me! Also, it's incredibly delayed. So we're having issues with the internet again, aren't we? I wonder if we try that. Put them back to the way it was previously. Do 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 do. Fuck me! Fuck me! Yes. The video and the noise seem distinctly out of sync, but anyway, welcome Mr. Albincraft. How are you this afternoon? Are you up to anything of significance or desirability, or are you stuck somewhere? Fuck me! Fuck me! Oh, there's a bottom it. Now see, that didn't... I don't even know if that actually turned up on screen that time. Do 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 do. Look. Yeah, no, that is technically all where it's supposed to be. You're hiding in your room. Daughter is having a sleepover. Ah, I see. I suppose that's one thing to do if the daughter's having a sleepover. Is that for your sake or the daughter's sake, I suppose, is the crucial element. Are you hiding because you don't want anything to do with it, or are you hiding because she's told you, no, you have to leave now? Not having you around my friends. Probably best for all parties, that's fair. And also, welcome Butternut. And you're hiding downstairs because the husband's having a nap. Wow. Everybody's hiding somewhere today. Oh, up-a-dip-a-dip-a-doo. Hiding all day. I have no idea. I did technically rhyme day with day, though, so that's a disappointing rhyme. Shantutto would be terribly miffed at me. But welcome Butternut. Are you up to anything interesting? Apart from hiding from the husband. A night squall grown to mega proportions. One might wonder why he'd even bother with camouflage when he's that big. But hey, fashion doesn't have to make sense. Use the default, he can just be a mega boy. Taking the opportunity to do some cathartic cable management. Oh, I see. I don't do cable management. I do hide it at the back and it can go away. I'm not dealing with that today. But there you go. As long as it doesn't actively go against the
You sure it's not a woman's?
go against me. By the way, in the underwater temple, we can walk on walls, just to make sure you realise that.
We got this.
That is why I've managed to get up on the wall there. Slightly annoying. We don't really have much for... Oh, we've got one for Thunder. We'll have to save up afterwards. But yeah, basically my cable management is, do the cables work? Yes. Does the thing that the cables are making work? Yes. Excellent, the cables are in the right place. I should possibly tie a few of the ones I've got lurking here. Because I've got a bank of USBs that are just sort of got wires all over the place, but there you go. I am so fucking lazy. That's never gonna happen. Makes me more excited than it probably should. I think I need help. That's fair. I mean, it's useful to be excited by things that perhaps shouldn't excite you, because then you'll actually do them. As I say, the fact that I couldn't give two tosses about my wires means my wires are everywhere, when they should probably be in neat little bunches, designated by where they're going and what they're in. But, as I say, I fear for me, it's very much a case of, if the wire works, boom. That's where the wire is staying from here on.
We were walking on lifeless the stone. Why do I even bother?
I don't know. Your brother's a moron. But, you know, he is technically still your brother. So, and I don't know his weight, so I can't say. Can't say for certain whether the brother is heavy or not. Is that a standard quattro? Yes. Or quachacho, technically speaking. So we can probably just pop them easily enough. It's only a sharp wall and a quachacho. They are two very easy foes, so they are nothing to me. You will learn to pay the price of defying me and mine. Yes, indeed you do. Right, do we want to... Yeah, go on, maximum thunderbolt. You'll die to the thunderbolt. Might be worthwhile doing another cure, just to keep health bars in check. Lovely jubbly, oh yes. Smack him up, smack him down, smack him all around. So, Mr. Butternut, what were you up to? Are you Final Fantasy XIV-ing again? I believe that was the last thing you were working on, but you may have worked on it at the desire of doing something else, I imagine. But I do not know. So, do pray tell, are you up to something? Oh, but that was unexpected. I knew about the patch to get down one side. I didn't quite know about this patch here. So, there you go. We're in Besaid Temple. Or the Sunken Temple near Besaid. And Besaid should be recognisable to the Final Fantasy fan as the location from Final Fantasy X. Because we have also stumbled upon Tidus, but he has left us. And as I'd feared last week, I think I was discussing this, as I had feared, they call him Tidus in this. But that's because that's how they think the name should be pronounced, despite the obvious fact that it shouldn't be. Trying out State of Decay 2! Golly! I vaguely recognise the name, but I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about it. I don't know anything to do with the gameplay. What sort of stuff does it do? Zombie Apocalypse Simulator, you've called it, which is intriguing. Is that an actual simulatory type simulator? Or just, you know, a phrase you've used to describe it? Because I imagine a simulator is a bit weird, but I've seen many of those sort of zombie apocalypse-y ones. I quite enjoyed Dying Light. I'm not sure how many people did, but I actually quite enjoyed that one. I mean, it got a sequel, so people must have thought it was reasonably tolerable, but yeah. I quite liked the sort of parkour zombie experience. It was rather enjoyable. Leaping around from rooftop to rooftop. And there was a certain sense of peril as well when you were sort of leaping from rooftop to rooftop. Especially considering your weapons did very little, I think, in that game. Until late game.
Right.
Mostly guns. Guns were your bread and butter. Not that you really want guns to be your bread and butter, because, I mean, really, the optimal bread and butter for everything is bread and butter, of course. Oh, that's Thundada. Oh, well, that was a waste. Never mind. One of them's dead, at least. That's something. That's pretty fun. What, as I say, since I don't know the gameplay, what's the gameplay? More of a phrase, okay. There's no real plot or anything. Mostly about resource management and making sure your group of survivors don't die. I see. So, troublesome, I get the impression from that phrase, is what that game is. Difficult to do, because I imagine... Are the survivors a pain in the arse, or are the survivors actually trying their damnedest? Because we did... what was it? Oh, Darkest Dungeon, of course. Your party tend to start hating each other, and therefore it's a pain in the arse. But the other one that just sprang to mind was something. But it sprang up. It sprang up, and my brain went, yeah, that one, yeah. And then it immediately sort of sprung back down and has hidden itself away again. It's slightly awkward. Party survivors not getting along.
Dude, how did these get down here?
No, it's gone.
I know.
It's gone.
They're everywhere.
Darkest Dungeon's the closest I can think of a party trying to get along, and they don't. Oh, no, it leapt up again, but I didn't quite catch the title. Could you... I think it's on a trampoline, so I'll be back off in again in a minute. This War of Mine. That's the game I'm after. This War of Mine. The survivors in that tended to not necessarily try hard. But then that's meant to be a difficult game. I don't know how difficult State of Decay is considered to be as a sort of general stance. I mean, it's about as difficult as you find it. Every game is slightly different, dependent on the person playing it. Some people find some games very, very easy. Some people find games very, very hard. I'm usually one of the latter. You can switch control between any of your people in your community, so they're not really anyone that's a pain, because they're all kind of you. I see, fair enough. But it does sound like an interesting one. I'll have to look it up, because as I say, the name definitely springs out as something I recognise. I'm slightly hoping it's not, but it might be one of those games that I actually own but haven't got around to playing. There's too many of those. That's why I'm slightly ashamed of that. There are too many of those, but still. I've been working on some of the backlog, because I've gotten into, since doing Proro over Christmas. I think I've mentioned this in the past, but it's continuing on from there. But since doing that, I've gotten into doing some more point-and-click games. So I'm chewing through my my backlog of point-and-click games. The latest being I did Full Throttle. Surprisingly difficult to say.
Please don't ask lawn questions.
I'm unlikely to ever be able to get my bicycle up to its highest speed if I can't go full throttle. Oh, there we go, we got it. But yeah, it's an old LucasArts game, but I played the remastered version because, I mean, it's just easier sometimes.
As fun as it is to
they work. Well, it's still PC games, so there's no 100% guarantee.
Let's make this good.
Nonetheless, it was when you normally stream point-and-click games, I don't at the moment. I have been considering it because I have suddenly gotten back into them, but I haven't got an actual time frame for streaming them. That's been on my own time. Full Throttle is on my own time. But I must admit, it's a troublesome one, that one. The sort of overall plot, characters and stuff I really quite enjoyed, but some of the puzzles, I really disliked them intently. But still, all your survivors have different stats and skills. Yeah. So, for example, I'm currently driving around at night with my lady, who I've given a katana, and is getting better at fighting skills. Nice. Michonne, then. You've basically built Michonne. Also, looks like the internet's dying on its arse again, which is wonderful. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, world. So tiresome. But she's also the only one in my group with a gardening skill, so I don't want her to die. Otherwise, you don't have plants! Which is quite going to be an awkward one. Is that yeah, that's just a basic watcher. Rage bomber? No, don't bomb me with rage. But it's the sort of point and clicks might be the sort of one that sort of crop up Thursday post Dragon Quest possibly, or as I say, there may be a sort of potential for doing it as a specific event thing. Ages and ages ago, these aren't, you know, they're born from but are not actually point and click games, but I still enjoy them as a sort of story experience. But there was a point in time where I was considering doing the Telltale Tea Time teaser, because you know the newer ones where they've done them in episodes are sort of a couple of hours. You can play them for a couple of hours and then you've done the episode. And well, a large volume of my streams tend to be at tea time. I could really do with healing myself, but I'm going to kill it. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I was enjoying Memoria. That was a really quite entertaining one, and I enjoyed one called The Unavowed. You're a purist. Technically, I did not say Telltale are point and clicks. I said born from, but are not actually point and click games.
You ever wonder why the ocean
So
is salty?
I mostly agree with you.
The ocean isn't salty.
They are not particularly point and clicks. However, they do tend to be born from point and clicks.
Well, there's a reason for it.
They are an evolution point.
That's nice. How about you tell me about it another time?
But as I say, I still quite enjoy them as games. Interactive storytelling is pretty much an accurate description.
Yeah, we got
I guess we're doing this.
But some of them do share greater links. But for the most part, you are correct. They are interactive stories with divergent paths in areas, I think. Because I feel like the old... I think the Guardians of the Galaxy one had a certain level of sort of differing paths you could take. I feel like the Borderlands one was another one that was able to sort of diverge in different directions depending on what you did. Now, whether they all, you know, unite in one area at the end is something I don't know for certain, but I do loosely suspect that's the case. But yeah, I've played most of the Telltale games, I think, even the ones that most people have written off as absolute garbage, like the Jurassic Park one and the Back to the Future ones, because I just enjoy them. I just like what they provide. A nice little wander round. But I'd argue sort of those earlier ones, so less the Walking Dead-y type ones and more Jurassic Park, and had a little bit more in common with the original DNA of the point and click, but I must admit it's been so long since I played them, I might be just fully wrong there. My memory is an atrocity, therefore I find I cannot rely on any information stored within my brainium. That's why I write everything down. Level 45 can suck a cock. Probably they can suck a cock really incredibly well. It's level 45. Although I don't think it's level 45 at sucking cock, but I can't say that for certain. I don't know if you get experience. Well, I mean, I imagine you do get experience with sucking cock. Fairly certain there's never been a video game that's ever dealt with the experience of sucking cock. Well, not in so many, not in like a statistical points value, I don't suppose. Talking of point and clicks, of course, you've got Leisure Suit Larry is Point and clicks and sucking cock. You suddenly come up with Leisure Suit Larry, I suppose. Arguably, yes, you could. But the original ones of them were quite entertaining. And I didn't mind the remake one they did recently. Certainly it didn't offend me. Well, not in a gameplay sense, anyway. In that it's Leisure Suit Larry, it offended my sensibilities, certainly. But that's kind of the point of those games. But yeah, Memoria. Memoria was a nice sort of... That felt very traditional point and click. But most of the puzzles in that were suitably simple to pretty much be able to figure out. There was a couple of obnoxious ones where it was like... I don't know. So it's sometimes like with Full Throttle earlier on. It's one of those ones where, now, is it simply that I don't know where this information is coming from? Or have you given me no information to work this out? And I fear on some occasions it really does feel like it's a case of no information was provided. Because there was one in Memoria where you had to figure out a sentence to distract the sort of scholarly wizard fella. Because Memoria, for anybody wondering, I don't know if you've heard of the Dark Eye. I don't know much in the way of details. I think I've played... there was the first Dark Eye Chains of Satnav, which I called Chains of Satnav because it made me chuckle, but it's actually Satinav. And then there's the second one, Memoria. And then I feel like there's a couple of action RPG ones in the Dark Eye setting. So I don't know if the Dark Eye is a known fantasy setting for other people, but nonetheless, it was the Dark Eye. So it's a slightly magical setting. But you play a character who's not really been able to do magic. So he can only do one spell, which is to break things and to then fix things. So you can either break something or fix something. Usually makes for decent distractions in terms of gameplay.
I guess we're doing this.
Come on, bring it.
Yeah, anyway, there's one puzzle where it was like you had to ask your friend to make a dialogue piece to distract the fella. And there was multiple different options. And it was like, okay, I've done that one. And he's like, do you need some assistance? No, I can memorise all this information. And I was like, right. So somehow I need him to not be able to memorise it. And so I chose what I felt were the most complex of the answers, but it apparently wasn't. So it's like, okay. So that was one of the ones I had to look up, and it really did feel like there was no rhyme or reason to it. Just certain dialogue choices worked, and no other combination did. And I was like, that's not a very good puzzle. But apart from that, it was a very satisfying game with a lovely little storyline to it. And then Full Throttle did something similar today. Slight spoilers towards the end, perhaps, but I'm not going to go into any real significant details. So, apart from the fact that it's towards the end, I suppose. But there's a puzzle in there, and I needn't have said that. If I hadn't said that, you wouldn't have known. But anyway, there's a puzzle that they go back to the well twice with this same sort of puzzle. But it's basically there's a computer screen with a ton of options, and you run through each of the options, but you're against a time limit. So it felt like it was just trial and error against a time limit. It's like, this is not a good puzzle. This is not a good puzzle. But again, it's one of those ones where I can't help. There's always that little thought that's, is it me? Is it me and I've missed the information somewhere? Or has the game not provided the information and I've not missed the information, in which case, the whole puzzle. But yeah, so both of them had their good points and had their bad points. One exceptional point that I was unaware of when it came to Full Throttle was, of course, I say of course, I didn't know this, so you might not know this. And if you don't know this, then I don't know this. Somewhere along the line that makes sense. I don't think it does. No, you're right, I don't think it does. But anyway, Mark Hamill. I can't speak properly. Mark Hamill was the voice of the villain and a couple of other characters as well, but nonetheless, primarily he was the voice of the villain in Full Throttle. I can't remember his bloody name now, which is amazing. But nonetheless, Mark Hamill was a voice in Full Throttle, and it was quite entertaining. And of course, there is now the phrase, "I'm not putting my lips on that," that is now burnt into my brain. I'm not putting my lips on that. I'm not putting my lips on that. Because of course, every single opportunity, because that's one of the things that I absolutely fucking loved about Full Throttle, is the interactivity sort of matrix. I don't know, the UI. That's it. User interface. That's the phrasing. It's beautiful. The way it's designed. You've got this sort of. It's like the Monkey Island 3 interface essentially. So I suppose it's all around that sort of time frame. Well, having said that, Monkey Island 3 I think was much later than Full Throttle, so maybe Full Throttle introduced it first, but nonetheless, it's a really nice system where you click on the item you want to interact with, and then you've got this skull that has the tongue and the eyes for look and lick, or talk as well is an option there, and then you've got the hand for using and the boot for kicking, and it's absolutely brilliant. But you do sort of go around in there and go, you know, I'm not putting my lips on that. True, the kick function is a little bit unnecessary. But then again, technically, there's an argument that says the lick function is not hugely necessary either, but they're both sort of slightly comical, I think, because you can kick a lot of things, in fairness, but you only really need to kick 1 to 2 things, maybe? I think there might have been one early on in the game, and then there was definitely one towards the finale. But arguably, yes, you could have easily just had a use function, and it would have easily sort of covered it all, all things. But I still, you know, even if they'd replaced kick with another function, I still like the layout of the way they did it. And the way it's sort of animated with the sort of crazy eyes on the skull and the sort of licking of the skull mouth as well. I ain't putting my lips on that. But yes, that line is now indelibly etched in the brain. I say that. I refer you back to the memory atrocity. Gabriel Knight has a terrible UI. There are 2 or 3 talk options and it makes it very confusing. I see. That is not great news, but still. Although the rest of the game makes up for it, yeah. That is one of the ones I years and years ago, I think I mentioned this previously when I was playing Pyro by me, but years and years ago I was going to do one of the Gabriel Knights as a Halloween special. But never quite got around to it. But you never know, maybe this year. Do I actually have your item? I'm not sure, because I feel like... Oh, the Charm Chime, I do have it. Marvellous. The sequel sucked, that is unfortunate. I needed to look up, but I wasn't sure if there was a Full Throttle 2 sequel either. Because it looked like, when I was just doing some odd little research, it looked like there was one, but I'd not come across it. But I, you know, there was a point. Nope, only one game? That's fair. I wasn't convinced there was a second one, because otherwise I suspect they may have redone that, remastered that one, but... Or possibly put them both in one package. But then again, that would be doing people a favour, I suppose. and doing them out of money, I guess. But still. The Dig is a very good one too. I don't immediately recognise that title, but I can always have a look into it. I think there's one, Simon the Sorcerer. I think that's another one that I remember from back in the day. Because I don't think I owned that one. I didn't own that. I didn't own that one, and I didn't own Day of the Tentacle. I think the pair. So if it is Simon the Sorcerer I'm thinking of, or something else, back in the day, I think they came together. The Day of the Tentacle and this sorcery type one. As I say, I feel like it was called Simon the Sorcerer. I might be wrong. So it's Discworld. Discworld stars Eric Idle, that's quite interesting. There were some, you know, fairly high names in some of these. But I suppose they were jobbing actors doing voiceovers, and, you know, if you want that star feature, it's probably a decent enough investment. But, yeah, I remember sort of going around a mate's house, and we'd crack out his sort of computer and do Day of the Tentacle and Simon the Sorcerer. and then we'd come back to my place and crack out my computer, and we'd do stuff like Crusader and Flashback. And of course, I do also remember we spent an obscene amount of time watching the Totally Twisted Screensavers collection. I don't know if anybody is aware of the Totally Twisted Screensavers collection, but essentially it was just a bunch of screensavers, but they were all, well, they were all totally twisted, hence the name.
Huh?
But they had a whole bunch of different options, and you'd have one of the ones that leapt out, of course. One of the ones that leapt out was the lawnmower man. So he was on sort of a lawnmower, and he'd sort of just be mowing the lawn. But then little cats would leap out, and he'd just carry on, and so you'd get, and he'd run over the cat. But then every now and again, what would happen is the lawnmower would come back. You could set it all up to be however you fancied, but you'd have the lawnmower come back, but the cat was sat on the lawnmower, and little human heads sort of sprouted from the ground, and so he'd just sort of go over the top. That's some crazy eyes. Late 80s and early 90s were primed for PCs. I wish the tech didn't progress and we still got top games like them. I think there's still some top games out there, but I suppose I am a child of the late 80s, therefore didn't experience the late 80s fully, and as such am perhaps biased towards later things. Let's kill the little sub-creatures, because then we can focus on the queen. I somehow suspect we can't imprison the queen, because she's just that little bit too human to be an imprisonable creature, but I'm gonna scan her. I'm gonna scan her and find out. Libra! But I do suspect the little instruction of unimprisonable. There you go. Predictable. Lightning weakness. Suitable. We can take advantage of that. Well, having said that, interestingly enough, Quattro Queen Memento suggests we might not be able to imprison her right now, but we can evolve something into the Quattro Queen, which is going to be intriguing. I wonder if she's going to be classified. I wonder if that information might be there. No, she is classified as an L, which, if she's classified as an L, that would mean she would end up with one of the twins on top of her head. Which I suppose is fine. Did we have another weakness? Only Earth and Darkness. Earth and Darkness are not my fortes in my current stats. But yeah, I know another person you'd get along well with. Although again, he's 80s born, so he's slightly later on from that sentiment, but he's very much against modern things as well. Oh dear, that's concerning. Oh, no, it was not concerning after all. It looked big, and then did very little damage, although it looks like it is just what happens when you do a physical attack. And possibly is getting more damaging, or just coincidence that it's more damaging for him. Hey, so magic is safe. We can do all the magic we like. Well, we'll do Cura, and then just stick to doing Thundara. Thundara, Thundara, Thundara. Thundara is here today. Hey, no curing for you. Bitch. Well, I think I can outdo the cure with my Thundara. I don't know, that's an absolute certainty. Not as much as I would have liked to have outdone. What are your thoughts on wind? Resistant. You're indifferent to fire, though, and I do have some fire options. There we go. Oops, fire. Bang! That's the most efficient way of killing her. Magical damage. Diddly 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 dee. But they do, I suppose, arguably, it's interesting. They do some nice retro-style stuff. Wadget Eye. I don't know if you've come across Wadget Eye, but I've enjoyed their sort of point-and-click offerings. Now, the Unavowed, I feel, was a little bit more story-inclined than point-and-click inclined. But some of their other ones, I remember being quite, feeling quite traditional. Especially, this isn't Magic Eye, this is someone else. In fact, I don't think it's Daedalic. It might be, though. But the Deponia games, they were quite entertaining, point-and-click affair.
I don't know. Wrecked a 3-year-old's birthday party.
Well, cheer up.
Because they
At least
were very much
now
harking
we
back
can
to
go
sort
home
of
whenever we want to.
the slightly older school ones.
Down that key.
Not full-on
Otherwise, why
older
did we
school
come
ones,
here?
sort of the middling
That's true.
ground.
But we know where it is.
Something
Remember,
more
the queen
akin to
said
your
that the
Broken
Tonberry
Swords
stole
and
the
your
key.
Aha!
later
so it
Monkey
is down here in the
Islands.
temple, somewhere.
Seems that way.
A Quattro Ruby!
Let's track down those Tonberries and hope they still have it.
We will try and track down the Tonberries. But I'd like to point out I don't necessarily want to fight a Tonberry. Because Tonberries can be nasty. Tonberries can be very inconvenient to your health. Because they've got a fucking knife and they're not afraid to stab you. They will happily stab you up. They will happily stab you down. They will happily stab you left. They will happily stab you right. They do like stabbing.
Is that the queen?
Yes. Yes, it is. Quite clearly.
Cool. That thing just opened.
Do you think
Tally
she's
ho.
going after those Tonberries?
That's
she
why it's
mentioned?
got an entrance symbol on it, and why I was fiddling with it earlier, because I thought there was a way of getting down there. I was just a little bit early. Ooh, can we actually go? No, we can't do full.
I'm getting dizzy.
Why? We've not actually gone all the way. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, okay, it's getting confusing now. We
No,
are sort
you
of
haven't. Come on.
rotating slightly. It is weird.
Hey, sis.
Hey, what?
I don't think I'm moving
Oh.
forward anymore.
No, well, we're definitely... Well,
Of course
we're
you're
mostly
not
moving forward.
You're moving.
No. The controller's going
down.
weird as well.
I knew it. Help me,
I'm
sis.
having to sort of rotate and adjust as it goes. Obviously, I can't
This
really
place is
show
starting
that,
to look
but
less and less
nonetheless,
like a temple.
as we were going
Is it
down
still
that
a
passage,
mess?
I was having to rotate round the
We've the
left
fallen
stick in
into a
order to
mess.
keep going in a sort of appropriate direction. Doo-doo.
Here we go.
Oh, that's a big, ugly worm. I suppose it's the water version of the sandworm, which I'm assuming, yeah, sea worm. Baby Tonberry we've dealt with. Papa Tonberry, not so much. And the sea worm, not so much. So ideally, let's get a Libra going to get the information first. Which, fortuitously, when they're on a stack... Oh, they are super weak to lightning. Not that that's necessarily going to help me, but nonetheless. Yeah, deal a lot of damage at once. Interesting. Could be awkward. And then once per battle, lower its health. Let's see what we want to do. Oh! Oh, it is working. Good. Well, I do feel like the audio is weird.
Hello there.
Yep.
Hello there.
Yep, the audio is definitely off. And I don't know why. Yeah. That's going to irritate me now. As we should get back to the... audio is fine. Looked distinctly like his mouth was moving quicker than his... quicker than the audio was kicking in, but still. That's what's happening then. No. I know what that is, but why there's a delay on it now? Never used to be a delay. Irksome. Yeah, that's where it's playing out via the... that is Blue Bush on the stack. It's where I play it out so that I can hear it and you can hear it. So it's monitor out and on, or whatever the fuck they call it. But yeah, it should sync up a lot more than it does. And for some reason it's being very much an awkward annoyance. But anyway, welcome, General Stack Commander and lover of Cyclops. I am indifferent to Cyclops, truth be told. I am indifferent to Cyclops. But anyway. Right, let's do... this is what I was after. I was wanting to find out which is the most toppler. So topple medium, but we'll do poison, which we don't necessarily want. Topple medium, we do want that. But good afternoon, Mr. Blue Bush. Welcome to SaturJay RPG. Blue Bush is on the stack. You had to liberate some pizza. I don't blame you. Pizza is the best. It is the best of things, the worst of things, the worst of better. I think the Chocobo Kick is what we're going to want here. Double Strength Medium. Do we have better than Double Strength Medium? No! So, Blue Bush, show them your boots. Well, your feet, most technically. I have learned that Cyclops needs to stay in the bin, yes. Yes. And that, as I say, that was just a phenomenal... Because I don't think anybody else particularly noted it, but to me, it really felt like you'd made him like a little baby Cyclops. And I don't necessarily think you were even intending to make him a little baby Cyclops, but to me, it just looked like a little baby Cyclops in the bin. And it was like, wah, wah. Why am I in the bin? Pizza is the reason for some and remedy for most of my problems. Yep, I can get that one. Wasn't really intentional. No, fair dose. Fair dose. I think it's just the fact that you know, drawing it quickly. Of course, you don't necessarily work in proportion, as you're not supposed to in that game. I'd like to point out. I'm not, it's not a criticism, I assure you. I'm not suggesting you should be pulling out a masterpiece on us, but nonetheless, owing to that sort of slight quickness, I think you boom, tiny little Cyclops in the bin. It just made me think of little baby Cyclops. Oh no! Right, so let's wait. That's the wrong. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the wrong target. No, correct target. Did a lot of damage at once. That's the problem we're gonna have. So I'll tell you what. Let's deal with the worm first. Try and get the worm down. Okay, that's concerning. The worm is not going down. Is that enough? Interesting. Yeah, reduce the Mirage's HP. I'm going to have to be careful when reducing the Mirage's HP now, because it's got a lot lower than I was expecting it to. I suppose Subdue is possibly the dish of the day. Subdue was the dish of the day. Right, let's try and imprison once again. Oh, first time. Got myself a massive worm. And it's not a woman this time. It's not a wriggly worm woman. The most disturbing piece of imagery you will ever come across. Now, I mean... Okay. Game. How much do you classify as a lot? And how much can this boy take? Okay, so we have to go over 900 for a lot, and the answer to how much he can take is not a lot. Excellent. So I suppose, against all sanity, I am going to have to cure the Tombury if I want to catch the Tombury. Are you at maximum health? You are now at maximum health. Okay, so my highest chance of doing a shit ton of damage in one go... Bang. I mean, point proven. Technically speaking, point proven. I did a shitload of damage. As it turns out, I did too much damage. But, yeah. I was. Do you know what? I was about to say I haven't had a pizza in a while, and then I suddenly remembered I had 2 pizzas at the beginning of the week. Not at the same time. I had different days, but nonetheless, yeah. This week's been a weird week then, because do you know what? The beginning of the week feels like it was ages ago, and yet the week seems to have also shot by, which doesn't make sense. It's weird. A wobble stumper, indeed. Do you not possess a wobble stumper? I mean, Butternut definitely does some pretty good art, but I can't deny, Mr. Blue Boosh, some of your offerings are particularly good as well. They do have some actual artistic merit to them. Both you and Butternut actually managed to pull off some decent, you know, decent quality stuff. Once house shared with a bunch of hippies, we ordered from Pizza Hut 3 times in one day. It was a good day. Yeah. I must admit, I have on previous occasions done like a sort of... I've made like a big order from Pizza Hut on like the Monday, and then had pizza for my lunch on Tuesday, pizza for my dinner on Tuesday, pizza for my lunch on Wednesday, pizza for my dinner on Wednesday. So there's been a lot of spread it over the week. Sometimes have it cold, sometimes warm it up, sometimes grate extra cheese on top. Do it differently each time. But yeah, that was quite something. It's one of those weird ones where it actually works out cheaper to buy a slightly larger volume of pizza than you really need, especially when you're on your own. It's usually slightly cheaper to buy 2 pizzas because that's what they want you to do. But yeah, it was one of those ones where it's like, yes, I will buy many pizzas. How much health does the stack have? Quite a lot of health in fairness. So I should probably do something more than just attack them, but for now we're just going to attack them. It will charge up my points. But this first stack may be worthwhile just attacking now, because we've started, so we might as well just finish them. Your art is just weird circles I do on your phone. Well, you know, they are decently placed weird circles. A fun thing to do if you go out for dinner is something my wife and I do. We go to 3 different restaurants for starter, main and dessert. I suppose I've sort of done that. Not quite, because it's not actually out at restaurants. But I have... Do you know what? I think I might have done it Sunday, actually, didn't I? Although not quite in the same... Not for the starter, main and dessert. I had it for, like, breakfast, dinner and dessert. I ended up doing, like, 3 separate Deliveroo orders. Not all at the same time. It was like, you know... Let's order up some breakfast. Tasty. Let's order up some dinner. Tasty. Oh, I fancy dessert. I'm going to order off at Casper's. Was it Casper's? Is that the name of the place? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, they do like ice cream. Because I had a Mars milkshake from them, and it was delicious. Must have again. I wasn't sure what to expect from their milkshakes, but then I tasted their milkshake, and it was lovely. I also had their sort of fudge brownie cookie dough and a speculoos cheesecake. I mentioned the cheesecake previously at some point in time. Oh, it was Tuesday I was mentioning cheesecake. Because I think technically it's meant to be pronounced speculoos, but, I mean, let's be honest, it's got loo in the end of the word, so for me it's always going to be speculoos. If you speculate, you speculoos. But sometimes you speculate. You have to speculose to speculate win. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but, you know, there's words in it somewhere. The walk and time in between makes the next bit of food better, and you get something you like in every restaurant. I mean, that does sound like a fantastic idea. But I can't deny, most of the time, when I want something, one restaurant is enough. I can't deny. Because usually, it's one of those ones where I suppose I fancy like the whole. Although weirdly, I don't think I have that many. No, I do have plenty of desserts in restaurants. In fairness, actually, I have lots of desserts in restaurants. Mostly cheesecake. It's constant cheesecake. Every time there's a cheesecake on the menu, I'll have that cheesecake. Whoa, that's a King Tonberry. He's got a big knife. And like every other Tonberry, he wants to stab me with the big knife.
I'd hate to be on the wrong end of that thing.
But we're about to be on the wrong end of that thing. But luckily, you do have Thunderbolt, so Thunderbolt time! Yoo-hoo! Come on. Come on, game. Are you shitting all over? Oh, okay, they're not imprisonable. Fine. Fine. I thought it was playing by the previous rules of Tombreeze. And the previous rules of Tombreeze were do a large amount of damage at once. And I was thinking over 2,000, that's a large volume of damage, but I can't physically capture them. Let's look at the champions through this menu just to check them out. So ice damage, neutral physical damage, strength op, or ice damage and restores AP. What is our AP situation? Our AP situation is fine, so I think we're going to have a look at Cloud, who unfortunately is a... Oh, shit. So are you a... No, you're single target. That's everybody, but it's my party. Well, go on. We'll still use Cloud, because he's awesome. This game is all about getting prisoners and looking awesome while doing so. Hell yeah. That Chocobo might have a weak bladder. Well, that's Lan's problem. Oh, yeah. Just, there's something about the beautiful nature of tiny chibi Cloud and the words, "I'm ending this," in his dramatic voice.
Who's sneaking about?
Who's sneaking about? You're sneaking about. Oven attendants. Mr. Bluebush, check. If you escape the oven. And Cloud's back. Boom! It's such a gorgeous sword that he wields. I know it's like the icon of Final Fantasy VII, so it's a bit sort of... It's a bit basic and standard to be in love with that sword, but it's such a... Oh, such a weird sort of simple design, but still quite beautiful. And I do love it. Do 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 do. And I even like the fact that we've ended up with Final Fantasy VII music. Oh, that's not what I'd intended. Oh well, never mind. The rest of you can die now as well. Join your friend in death. There you go. Goodbye. You are the weakest Tombreeze. Goodbye. You disgust me. Yes, at the recent Tombre meeting, we did discuss you, and how much you enjoy killing Tombrees. What are your other weaknesses? I don't know. I've not Libra'd you. Let's change that situation. There's a better word for that, but never mind. The Tombre King memento. Lightning and light. So, that's fair. Do 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 do. Thunderer.
I've got this.
Couldn't quite decide whether I wanted Thunderer or Thunderbolt, but Thunderbolt is slightly weaker for everybody. I think it's slightly weaker anyway. I might be wrong now. Suddenly doubting myself in that piece of information, but still. Ooh, you can do the healing, and now you... Do you have... They are both 5, so I do wonder if maybe they're either the same strength, or Thunderbolt might actually be slightly more potent. But anyway, we can't do it, so we've got to wait until next turn. Or we just got to crit the shit out of the bastard. That works as well. Well, that is always an option. Cura again. We might as well have a full health party. Look at that. We didn't even break a sweat over you, you little Tombury shit. Just going to see if that... Yeah, that does seem weaker. So yeah, Thunderer, single target, higher damage. Thunderbolt, multi-target, reasonable damage. I still sort of want to finish the battle with full health, so that it was absolutely nothing, you Tombury dick. And you don't want to encounter the Tombury dick. You don't want to know what you can do with the Tombury dick. Alright, you can take a little bit of damage. I can't be bothered to keep healing. I want to kill him. Because he might be flagging. Alright, he's got 1 hit left. I was going to say, he might be flagging, but he still seems... Oh, okay, he's got 2 hits left, and he might kill everybody with everyone's grudge. Excellent. Yep. You... utter whore. Because I think that is just an unfortunate thing that I didn't manage to kill the bastard, yeah. Tasty bullshit. And that's not even one of those ones where we can just go straight back to Nine Wood Hills. So we're straight back to, yeah. I'm not entirely sure where we're going to end up continuing from. Okay, I don't think that's quite as bad as I thought. No, it's not. But yeah. Slightly irritated now that you did that piece of bullocks to me.
Dude, even his knife is huge!
I'd hate to be on the wrong end of that.
His knife is huge, isn't it?
Or any of the
Dickhead.
You're just scaring
I suppose we could do Celeste this time. Just to be able to see her, but I kind of feel inclined to... Oh, I defended by... Oh, excellent. I'm doing it all wrong because I'm slightly irritated. Use the Thunderbolt. Take the damage. Ignore the fact that they're damaging me. Skip most of the battle. Bring back Cloud. Cloud can fuck up the Tombury King. Yes, I am going to watch it again. Because it's Cloud. And he deserves everybody's respect. And admiration. Oof! The icon that is the Buster Sword.
I'm ending this.
Damn straight I am. I'm getting angry. I'm a really annoyed little chibi man. Pow, pow, pow. Pow, 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 pow. And finally, big pow. Get wrecked. Plus we get back from Final Fantasy VII music and we were enjoying the Final Fantasy VII music. And yes, I did just refer to myself as we. With a do do diddly diddly dee and a do do diddly dee dee and a do do diddly diddly doo day day. What are your thoughts on Wind? We don't know. We've still not laboured him. I forgot. The previous battle didn't actually exist. Your thoughts on Wind are indifferent. Well, I might try and use some Wind, because clearly I have to shit on your fucking face long before everyone's grudge decides to crop up. Which is a pain. So we just have to blitz him down. Blitz him, blitz him, blitz him, blitz him, blitz him, blitz him down. Except, unfortunately, I've run out of moves to blitz him down with. I suppose arguably I might be able to use an item. But, you know, that's not really my style. Thunder! Pew! Water, oh, good. Okay, that's fine. How much health you got left? Quite a lot. Now. Decisions. You know what? Fuck it. Treat yourself to a little fanciness. I need the thunders. There we go. Lightning spellstone.
Perfect.
Go lightning. Pew! That was a lot more lightning damage I was expecting. Oh, got me past the everyone's grudge then. If you thought the fucking Tombury's grudge was immense, you defeating me once gave me a fucking grudge. And my grudges come with your death.
And now we got it.
Hey, you okay? I'm sorry about before.
I never commanded the man-thing to rescue me. So, if it wants thanks, well then, it's got another thing coming. He can't.
Goodbye.
How many things does he have that come?
Take the blasted
He's got another thing coming.
toad face. Okay. Well, I guess we got what we came for. All's well that ends well.
In fairness, if he's got multiple things, they may all swell.
I made it so the exit
Right, let's...
will take you.
Yeah, oh, no, I wanted to save it.
We need to get a hold of that antidote.
I just want to double check the entire area. But I equally wanted to not have to do that battle again. So, is that... Oh, no, that is a different exit. Oh, I've got to go back to the other side. Fine. I don't trust you, game. I don't trust you to not be a piece of shit. Oh, Billy Bullshitter is your middle name. It's an inconvenient middle name. Although not by as much as the one I saw earlier was. I can't quite remember what it was. Oh, it was Bowie, as in David Bowie. And then Carol. And I believe it was a bloke. Well, will be a bloke, I suppose. Technically, it's a baby now. But yeah, there was a whole article on a couple have named their child Huckleberry, Bowie, Carol, Prince. And it's like, Jesus. You really didn't want to give your child a step up in life. But there you go. Although Huckleberry's not actually unreasonable as a name. The only thing that annoyed me slightly in the article was their reveal that they'd never heard of the book Huckleberry Finn, or the character Huckleberry Finn. I suppose both. I suppose, don't you? Which was like, there is a question: where did you get the name from? If it's not that, oh, there you go. Oh, ominous happenings. Jesus, that's a big hand. That's a big hand. Please, everyone, give me a big hand.
Watch Ruby. Wow, guys.
And the antidote?
Right here.
We might need to be cursed again, though, because it looks like something else is happening in the underground there.
Woo! You sweet, delicious air, you.
I guess Dr. Shantoto wasn't kidding. The sea is another kind of hell. I don't think I've ever been so tired.
Oh, if you ever feel like going for another dip down there, you're gonna need these.
Poxio and Antipoxy.
There you are. I've been looking all over.
Hey, it's Una.
Huh? Is that?
Lady Una.
Huh? Friend of yours? Hey there, I'm Titus.
I'm the summoner.
Physically pains me.
Wow, a summoner. Never met one of those.
Good the day, Lady the Una.
Oh, good. Wait, what am I doing? Don't good the day me. It's no time to mince thus.
Oh.
Explain yourselves. What did you two do to Rydia and Eiko?
Huh?
We said hello,
Hang on a second.
and then we said
Something
goodbye.
happened to Rydia and Eiko?
Don't pretend that you don't know. They're gone. Both of
Oh,
them
trust
went
me.
missing right
Lan
after they
doesn't
ran
have to
into
pretend
you.
to be thick.
What?
Really?
It just comes naturally.
Then, you swear to me that you don't know. You really have no idea where my friends have been taken.
No clue.
No. Nope.
That's
I
a
think you
shame.
do get Una as a medal.
Might be going
I
out
might
on
be
a
wrong.
limb, but I can't help
You
but
already have
wonder if
Balfour, and the most obvious thing
What
for her
is it?
would be to summon Balfour.
maybe someone is targeting summoners. Specifically.
Targeting summoners? Come to think of it, not long after I met you.
Well, we won't be having Una around for now. Oh, there goes Bouncy Titus. Really Bouncy Titus. Jesus, he's like a fucking blitzball.
Great.
Boink, boink, boink,
Lost
boink,
sight
boink.
of him.
What's that knight's problem?
Was that the one who took the other summoners?
It's a fair guess.
We're just gonna have to hope Titus can keep Lady the Una safe. Huh?
What's happening now?
Ooh! Well, that's annoying, isn't it? We went all that effort, gather those keys, and they just fucked off.
Dude.
The shimmering staircase of destiny. Really, that must have taken a lot of work, because that feta cheese is crumbly. So in order to have unfettered something, must have taken years to just pick off each tiny, independent little Beast of crumbly feta. Titus champion medal, yes. Yes, I will save the progress, thank you. Always save when it's offered. Unless you suspect the game of foul play. In which case, don't take it.
Chapter 19.
Good lord, we are actually in chapter
The other
19.
9
That's a lot of chapters we've done. I wasn't expecting to be quite so far along.
The path
Now,
that will
granted, I
take
have
you
no
to the Crystal
clue
Tower.
how many chapters there are, but
Follow that path, and you will find the answers you seek.
Answers?
Luce Farna.
I suggest tightening.
If you wish to find her, you must brave the Crystal Tower.
Then our mom's up there somewhere? She's still alive?
The 4 keys you collected give you the right to know, if you have the courage.
She's vanished! Who in the grimoire was that?
Rain, I'm going.
Wait,
Oh, what for?
why did that woman tell us all that? She must have had a reason.
Well, how in the honk am I supposed to know? Does that mean you're gonna quit? After everything?
No, I just... Come on! Think about it. There's something funny about Grimoire.
Well, yeah, I'll admit it's kind of weird. I mean, it's full of little people and...
No, I'm not talking about that. The prophecies. They treat us like characters in some kind of story. It feels like someone wrote out a plan, and you and I are just going along with it.
What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Rain, you are really overthinking this.
You're underthinking it.
Okay. Maybe you are right about that. But don't act like this story is writing itself. We almost died a bunch of times. If we hadn't collected so many mirages, we never could have made it this far. The way I see it, we did that all on our own. It wasn't Tama?
I think maybe the word you the want is preordained?
That's the one. There's no way it could have been preordinated.
Uh-huh. Or predestified, right?
All of this is starting to make my vocabulary hurt.
Well, one thing's for sure. We have no choice. Echo did say that there was no changing the prophecy.
Rain?
Okay, let's head for the Crystal Tower.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I want to. You might want to go elsewhere. You can't make me go to a crystal tower. I don't want to go to a crystal tower. There's an exclamation over there. Someone wants me to do things, and I probably should do them.
Whatever am I going to do?
Oh, I don't know.
My son insists upon seeing some mirages up close, but I have no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, does it happen to be one that's on me?
It's white and fluffy, and it kind of looks like a
Oh,
tiny
I do know
dog,
what that one
but
is,
it isn't
though.
really a dog.
I say.
I
do
don't
you
have
think
him
we
on
might
me,
be able
though.
to find the one he's talking about for him? I'll make it
Yes.
well worth your while, of course.
Yes, I suppose I could possibly... Oh. Do I... Can I...
Okay, so
No.
I'm
No, okay, I do actually have to go and get the one I need. Bucket. Who am I going to replace? I don't know. I suppose it's only temporary, so it doesn't really matter. Where's the easiest way to actually go to replace it? You've not given me a particularly easy way of accessing my prism factory. I suppose it's back to town. Back in the town, there'll be a save point, right? Surely, come on, game. Don't be a dick, don't be a dick. I'm begging you, baby, don't be a dick. Is there something special? Oh, it's just Shantotto's house, yeah. We don't really need to go back in there. I will double check where she's from in the older Who's Who as well at some point, but for now we'll just access the prism case and... strictly speaking, it doesn't matter. So if we do Robobottom, I don't think he's on any stack, so he'll suffice. And what we want, I believe, is, yeah, the white knack, I believe, is what he's talking about. So I will just go over here and show off my white knack. If I do, then I am sure to be arrested, 'cause I don't think you should be showing off your white knack to small children at the end of the pier, no matter how much the parents will pay you to show your white knack. But there you go, we're doing it anyway.
Wow, it's the real thing! I can't believe I got to lay eyes on it!
I mean, you can have it if you like. I don't need it, but there you go.
This is the mirage he was talking about. Well, I certainly learned something today. Oh yes. Here, take this. It's the least I can do.
It better be good. It's actually pretty good. Marvelous. Oh, okay, you want something else.
Well, hello!
No,
Thank
hello.
you so much for your help the other day. However, I'm afraid
No,
my
of course he
son
does.
is
Of
yet
course he
another
does.
mirage
Is it the
he
evolved
wants to
form of the
see.
white knack?
Okay, so it's
Oh, no.
watercolored, it hops around, and it goes ribbit. It's slimy and gross and awesome.
Okay.
Would you
I think I do
mind
have that as well.
humoring him again?
Well, at least it's not going to be difficult to know which of the creatures we're going to trade out. We can just trade out the white knack. Well, that makes it simple enough. But annoyingly, it's one of those ones where if they're going to make you faff around trying to gather monsters for him, a door or save point, both of them I think can access the prison case. A door or a save point next to the boy would have been a delight and a fucking time saver, instead of having to go back into town every single time in order to fulfill his desires. But there you go. I perhaps am asking too much. So I believe it's going to be, assuming I can spy it, although I did not spy it. Interesting. Oh, no, that's interesting. Yeah, I do have a golden frog, but I don't have... I don't think he's after it. No, it goes ribbit. He definitely said it goes ribbit, didn't he? But yeah, annoyingly, I don't actually have a regular flavoured frog. I've only got a golden variety. Well, unfortunately, a golden variety is not hugely useful. Well, I suppose at this point, the key question is, do we want to stick with our Robo Bottom, or do we possibly? I mean, we could try for... We could try and use the Magic Armor P instead. A PP! Do we want a PP? Or do we want the Estrella? Could be interesting instead of Robo Bottom, but would require a fair chunk of levelling up. But it does feel like an opportunity to perhaps have a switch around. The Nidhogg could be nice. Yeah, have the Nidhogg. Might be kind of fun. Which arguably, if we've got the Nidhogg now, have Nidhogg, might as well use Nidhogg, I suppose. But which I think we should probably... We'll trade out Veil for rather than... Okay. And she just disappears. That's fine. Bye. Bye, Rain. It was nice knowing you, but you've disappeared behind the heads of Nidhogg. I'm genuinely slightly surprised it's not considered an extra large, but still. Are we happy continuing with Slap? Yeah, I think we're happy with continuing with Slap. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Enero? I don't know what Enero... Oh, Enero! Yeah, it as in put wind on your weapon. Stacks. Stacks. I need to put you in the little stack. Oops. There you go. Finally, I might consider the idea of having them in differing forms. So have her as little one and the other one as big one. Very, very descriptive. Well done. Abilities. Stacked abilities. Enero. Yes, that appears to be good enough, yeah. Enero. Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. It isn't actually how N maneuvers used. work, but I think we found that out last time, didn't we, actually? Mirage balls, let's see. We've got a few points spare. So, I think Slap was finished here, wasn't he? Yeah. Anything for the level that he currently is? 42 or higher? 25 or higher? No. So, we'll give some boostage to his alternate form. Stabilizers. I cannot possibly ride my bicycle without my stabilizers. Ifrit, you've only got 2 points, and therefore I can't do anything with you. But I suppose it's fine. Valor 4, can we do something with you? No, not really. But we could, I suppose, use your points in the little fella. And now, Mr. Must Paint. Yes, again, Mr. Must Paint. We've basically got everything. So does this actually affect the sync level? Because I think it does. Yes, it does. Excellent. I was going to say. Because otherwise there's no point in wasting SP on those things. But I was correct in my assessment, which is sort of building your sync levels. Yeah, HP plus, agility plus, sync bonus, yeah, sync bonus, my friend. Magic defense, magnificent. Misty Blue Bush. Still can't unlock that. Still can't do anything there, but we can get critical AP hike. That'll do nicely. I need the Hyperion Mirage board. Interesting. Is there anything left on the baby chick? No. So you are actually completed, which is, yeah, slightly unfortunate. But I suppose you'll be gathering points for next time. Much like Tama, you'll be gathering points for when finally something useful crops up. Nothing there, nothing doing there. Nope. So anything in the Spark Dragon we can learn. Thundada, thundada, thundada. And now over here to the Behemoth. I believe level 40. Yeah, level 40. So we're going to wait a little bit longer. But interesting enough, there is a level 35 thumb there. Intriguing. But yeah, stabilizer, and then we'd need more points for the next step anyway. Can't sleep. He can, however, up his criticals. And we'll get a blank space just to fill in the gap. And now Zappity, I think Zapped himself is pretty much finished. So we were working on Zapple. No, nothing doing there. So we'll grab Regen, never a bad thing. And we'll fill in the blank space as well. Although we won't actually fill in the blank space because I don't like using the seeds. So I know. You're a fucking idiot. Fire is quite a hefty start, but still. And yeah, he's got another form there, although it doesn't register another form there, which means it's probably just a variation of his form. Right, we've done all that. Let's have a save since we've done all that. And then we'll probably head back to Ninewood Hills and then possibly just pop it away early once we've dealt with some stuff in there. I suppose I might do... Well, we might get distracted with the girl in the doodah. Have you got a girl in your doodah? I do. I try not to let it show, though, while I'm doing this stream. The girl's tea room. The girl with no name, or the girl who can't remember her name. Technically, she has a name, she just can't remember it.
Good morning.
But what we'll do
What now?
initially is trade in armor gems, because I want the new
would you like
champions.
To
Which is, indeed, Tidus and Shantato. Despite having no real significant
What now?
leanings towards Shantato, I might as well have her medal. Right, well, as much as I like Cloud, we will replace Cloud with... So, magical damage bestows magic op, that's quite nice. And Tidus, yeah, magical damage. Is it single targets both of them? Evasion op, that makes a degree of sense. We'll have Blitz Ace for now, and we'll try and remember to use Celeste and possibly Shulk as well, so we'll be able to see their manoeuvres. But first, let's go to the Twins room and check in with our booklet of many people. Some would call it a Facebook, but it's a no, it's not a Mirage manual. It is a who's who. Who's who? Let's see. Have we got any information on the people here? Yes, we do. We've got another bit on Sid. Man or mech, no matter how you slice it, Sid is a robot through and through. Nonetheless, he insists that he's human. Might as well humour him. Sid and Celeste grew up in the same town and have known each other for years. He's lucky to have a good friend to step in and quiet him down whenever he occasionally enters Robo-Rampage mode. And yeah, World of Final Fantasy we established last week. It's a shit way of doing Sid. They could have used a proper Sid somewhere. And Final Fantasy XI, as I had suggested. Late 40s, according to Besaid's older folk, pressing Shantotto for details is not advised. Doctor, pantologist, curse professional, black magic expert, speaks in rhyme. Overbearing, but a certifiable genius. Do not make her angry. When someone tells you that they're a specialist in curses, you immediately think bad thoughts. Still, a tool isn't good or bad in and of itself. It's all about how you use it, and Shantotto uses her knowledge of the hexing arts to solve problems for those in need. So curse or not, it can be a good thing. Now that that's settled, who wants one? Shantotto's original soul was Taru, a race known for their diminutive stature. Not that it stopped her from towering above others in spirit, mind you. Luckily, here in Grimoire, everyone is already pretty tiny. When Shantotto's soul was born into a Lilikin body, her vertical challenges vanished. Final Fantasy XI. And Tidus. Super swimmer, breathes underwater, believes in doing the right thing. Always upbeat and blitzball. 17. Tidus lives in Besaid, and as you might have guessed, he's the best blitzball player around. Besaid doesn't seem to have one of those impressive spherical stadiums. Ooh, it's a shame. Final Fantasy X, as established. Master Tumbury, a series regular. In the English-speaking world, they went through a bit of an identity crisis at first. For some reason, Tomburys were initially called pugs, despite looking nothing like dogs. Then again, they don't look like berries either. I think that's the new piece. Oh, well, we now know who the hand was. I really should stop looking in the bloody thing, but still. Final Fantasy VIII was the origin of Diablos. I wasn't sure, but I think he's only ever really... I don't think he's really cropped up in anything other than Final Fantasy VIII, but I might be wrong. I mean, he's cropped up in this, I suppose, arguably. Fucking idiot. But yeah, Diablos was one of the best.
World of Final Fantasy.
There we go.
World of Final Fantasy.
Oh no, maybe if I do that.
Just a dream. A very bad one.
Oh, it's great,
Just
isn't it?
a dream. A very bad one.
But he is basically the devil.
If that's how you want to play, then so be it.
And he was one of my favourite GFs in Final Fantasy VIII. But yeah, it's Diablos. But that was the big hand we saw underwater. Spoiler. Young and pure of heart, makes a fuss over everything, always flanked by her attendants, refers to humans in the third person. Man-thing. Also a big crybaby. A strange enchantment lies on the tears of the Quattro Queen, causing each one shed to crystallise into the fabulously rare and fabulously valuable Quattro Ruby. Each is said to be worth over 100 million gil, because of the fantastic wealth attainable by making the Quattro Queen Quai. Yes. Can't say the words. And other seekers of fortune have infiltrated the sunken temple and caused her Quagestir undue amounts of pain and discomfort. Most of them were men, and the tortures visited upon her at their hands have caused her to come down with an acute case of androphobia. And now the very sight of a guy puts her into a tizzy. The Quattro Queen is, as evidenced by her name, the undisputed ruler of the Quattros. In their community, only the most worthy Quattro may transfigure into royalty. World of Final Fantasy was her origin. And there's the little Quattro. The Quattro Queen's attendants. Quacha! And these actually came from Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, My Life as a King. I did not know that. But then I didn't play a lot of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Mostly because that was the sort of Nintendo Final Fantasy. And I don't think, ultimately, not that great. I don't know. As I say, I've never really played them that much, so that's an unfair assessment and a slightly scandalous judgment of things you've never played. But yeah, it's one of those things.
Welcome to where fantasy melds with real. What now?
We'll have a look if there's any new interventions we can cause. Yes, 2 different conversations. Oh, it's Snow and Celeste. Lovely. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Snow and Celeste.
Is this the place? That Mirage menace has got to be close now. Oh, wasting no time, I see. You're going down. What the?
What? You lunatic!
Sorry, I thought you were a Mirage. Last I heard, there was a real dangerous one prowling the area.
You're the only danger here. Do you always lunge at strangers without thinking?
In fairness, yes, he does. He does do it quite a lot.
So, let's roll. Where are you headed?
You say that as though you actually believe I'll let you come along with me.
Well, of course I am.
I don't think anybody ever denies
Dangerous
Snow.
Mirage is on the loose in this forest. It's not safe to be wandering around by yourself.
What a hero. You know, I'm perfectly capable of handling.
It's settled. I'm Snow. And you?
See?
Celeste.
He's too oblivious.
You know, it's rude
Celeste, huh? I like it. Okay, off we go.
Interrupt.
Ah, Snow, the
So
lovable,
tell me about this Mirage.
oblivious
Well, according
idiot.
to the villagers, the thing's supposed to be some kind of colossal beast. Somebody's got to step up and do something about it.
And you let them talk you into hunting it?
And it's Gilgamesh.
What was that?
I have you now, birds!
What have we here? So you're the Mirage everyone's talking about. Oh yeah, you look like trouble to me.
Am I seeing things? Parts? Is that you? Something's different about you, is it the hair?
Well, you're done scaring the villagers. I'm putting you down right now.
Nice try. You'll need more than an extreme makeover to pull the wool over Gilgamesh's eyes. Oh, I see. I'll bet it was you that sent that vicious monster on me before.
Any last words?
Listen to you. It's like you're having separate conversations. Hey, Gilgamesh, right? Do you think that monster that attacked you could have been...
I've awaited this day 100 years. It's over, Barts.
Your reign of terror is over.
This is insane.
Yes, I feel sorry for you, Celeste. You've been lumbered with both of the biggest idiots in Final Fantasy. And that's possibly saying something.
First of all, Lon, you need to pay better attention to people's names. Second of all, Gilgamesh.
Do we know the information of Gilgamesh? Yes, we do. How very helpful. Not that it really makes much difference. It's twat him in the face as hard as you can.
Has he even noticed that he's fighting against us now?
I don't think so.
Poor Celeste. She's surrounded by idiots on all sides.
I said that as well, Ray. We're on the same page. Oh shit, yeah, everything's changed. That's why I hate changing stacks. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I know exactly what I want to do. Oh no, I don't have any clue. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it manually just to make sure it goes on the correct stack, but I'm going to faith you so that your magic is better than previously. And what we'll do is twat you in the face with Lan. And then theoretically, an arrow is not a magical spell, so we'll do. That's not the button. That's not the button. I had a sudden PlayStation confusion. Where I pushed where the X button is for the PlayStation controller, not where it is on the game Xbox. But I don't know. Now I'm just getting completely confused between my consoles. Oh well. In a state of perpetual confusion. Do 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 do. Anyway, this time, Aurora. That was disappointing, but I suppose arguably this is not a great fight for the debut of Nidhogg, considering he is he's brand new and unable to do much. What is not great? Not the best of things, a nursery. And yeah, annoyingly, I have lost all my thunder spells, which is not great news. Oh darn. Darny darn. Well, we'll try an arrow because I fancy looking at it. It's not going to be helped by faith, but no, never mind. Are you going to suck him off, or are you going to blow him? Means the same thing. No, neither one really. I suppose it is reflective of the idea of adding an element to their attack. They just combine it into a singular attack rather than have it be sort of a permanent thing like they did in Final Fantasy X, I believe was where they did the ends. Just twat him with your mighty jaws. And you, twat as well. I think in fairness it might just be a case of twat as hard as you can. Whilst also healing. Haste is not great news. Protect is not great news. Shell is not great news. Where was the one who had Dispel? I don't think there was anybody on me right at this very moment. So do we happen to have a Holy Touch? Now, I was going to say, can we do it on Gilgamesh is the crucial question. But say bye-bye to all of your buffs, sir. Dickhead. Oh, the mightiest of swords. Which is it going to be? Excalibur or Excalibur? You think you've chosen the wrong one again? I think you'd have learnt by now. Yep, it's Excalibur. Which, in fairness, I'm glad to see Excalibur here. Well, fun fact, you know, I was discussing last week, and nobody corrected me, so I blame everyone else. But I couldn't for the life of me remember what Odin evolved into after he died in Final Fantasy VIII. It's Gilgamesh. And prior to that conversation as to who he was transforming into, I was discussing Gilgamesh. But, yeah. I'd forgotten that it was actually Gilgamesh that he evolves into as well. So, you know. We'll try Venom Needle. Done. No, we won't be trying Venom Needle again. A lovely bit of cura for the woman who missed. See, I do everything for you. You should thank me more often, Rain. Because you're doing very little damage now, Rain. As I say, I know why. It's because Nidhogg's brand new, but never mind. Pow. He's almost dead anyway. But we are, once again, at the mightiest of swords. Oh, shit. I think that might be the right sword. Nope, it's not. Excellent. I wasn't sure if he'd actually leapt the other way, but I don't know if there's any reflection as to the animation determining what he does. I don't know. Just keep pounding away and hope he doesn't kill anyone. Or at least anyone important. Which, interestingly enough, on this occasion is pretty much Lan. Because he's the strongest of my stacks, and he's kind of the healer. Because Blue Bush can raise. He can raise the dead. Do. So, if you don't mind not killing me... Oh, there we go, I won. So he definitely did not kill me, because I won. Nidhogg is a horrendous beastie, isn't he? I do like it. 16 levels in one go. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful things. Oh.
That's what happens to mirages that misbehave.
Damn straight.
The villagers want you gone, so tough luck.
Except he's not actually a mirage that's sort of misbehaving, so.
Just stop! Listen, Snow.
Huh? What are you doing? Don't tell me you're on his side.
Would you
Oh,
just
God,
settle
Snow.
down?
Just
Listen when
stop
people
for a
talk to
moment
you.
or two.
Hey, buffoon.
Who? Me?
I mean,
Earlier you
you are a
mentioned that
moron.
some vicious monster attacked you, right? What did the thing look like?
I suppose that I would describe it as a colossal beast. But it met a quick end at the hands of Gilgamesh and his mighty blade.
Snow, do you see now? That dangerous mirage is gone. And you, Gilgamesh, this isn't the person you've been looking for. His name's Snow, not Bart's.
Doesn't even look like Bart's.
Well, when you point it out, he seems dangerous. It doesn't look especially beast-like.
Whoa. So, Bart's is someone else? I just knew that something was off.
Oh, that was my bad, Garglemusher. Man, you totally had me fooled there.
I like your style. You may not be Bart's, but you're just as worthy an opponent.
I had the wrong guy, but you put up a good fight. Like your style.
Do they even hear each other?
Any tough guy willing to go around with me? Hey, we are now bros.
Bros, you say? Bros. I like the sound of that.
Peas in a pod.
Man, the two of us must have been destined to go head to head today. Do you think we, like, knew each other in some past life?
No, not that I remember.
Truth be told, no, I don't think so.
Have you ever been a frog?
No, not that I remember.
They deserve each other.
So I don't recall Gilgamesh making any appearance in Final Fantasy 13. Although, granted, I don't think I explored every single corner of Final Fantasy 13 2. Nor did I explore every single corner of Final Fantasy 13 3. So, strictly speaking, there may have been an interaction there. But then again, it may have just been throwaway dialogue in a completely separate game. But, you know,
What now?
not everything has to be some kind of significant reference. I don't know. Whose souls do you have? So it is just the Bridges Woes now. And I still feel like that is probably stronger than something I can do. But I don't know. Shall we have a go anyway? Fuck it. Go on, let's have a look. Never mind. I mean, that solves that problem nicely, doesn't it? Can I do this quest? No. Excellent. Excellent. That solves the problem nicely. Right, let's go back to Silver Park, and yeah, I'll probably put it away a little bit early. A little bit under the odds. We can deal with the Crystal Tower next time on Doings and Thingy. Although we do have a little bit of fiddling left, because we'll do the Nidhogg's evolution board. Mirage board, even, whatever you want to call it. Nidhogg. Anybody else worth anything? No. The Nidhogg. What do I need? I need a hog. When do I need it? I need it now. Just pretty much follow the path for the most part. That's a mystery as to what we can do there. Massive HP++. Courage under fire. Raise physical damage as HP gets lower. Nice. And magic, yes. I thought I'd misread it. It is actually called the Lust Dagger. I lust after daggers and assassin's dagger. Oh yeah, I've got lusty daggers. Whoops, I didn't. Weirdly, I didn't push the wrong button. I just didn't push the right button twice. Prisms. Oh yeah, we just unlocked another Nidhogg prism. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, no, not travel. No. Save. You severed the game. I severed this game. I severed this game nicely. Yeah, it tastes good. I severed the game. So, you know, different word, sound, thing, jokes and tut. World of Final Fantasy. Quite the goom. Yes, I'm going to quite the goom. Ew, why are you quiting the goom? Don't quite the goom, it sounds disgusting. Diddle-dee-diddle-diddle-diddle-dee-diddle-diddle-dee. It's probably gonna screw up the stream while I load up a thing. I don't know if it's gonna be worth something. Maybe. I don't know, but I guess we could do a thing where we do the ding-a-ding. Let's check in here, see what is happening. Yes, I suppose that seems like a reasonable thing to do. But then again, we got a little bit of prep work, so it may have disappeared. Please go away. You're not wanted here. Let's stop all of that so we can do all of the things. Right, let's go to the interim slideshow. And then I don't know if this is going to work all that well this time, because all of these seem to have sort of suffered some degree of disconnect and awkwardness that seems to sort of have screwed it up in some fashion. But there you go. Yeah, I don't know why half of these have sort of messed up somewhat, but there you go. There you go. There you go. No. Nothing else I can do there. Anyway, if you're after video game goodness tonight, you've got Mr. Mascalaboos. And yes, I imagine he would appreciate you calling him Mr. Calaboos.
This is the last upgrade. But I have to make this jump, and I don't like it.
I don't think he makes the jump.
Yes!
He made the
oh
jump.
my god, I actually made it to the goddamn boss. Lava Beast Jowenko. That's not fair! No, don't do that!
I had a feeling something like that was going to happen.
No!
And if tomorrow night, this is Sunday night, if you are after something of note, then you have Mr. Cansley Must Paint.
What's my upper leg limit? 6 inches to 6
Which has completely killed the stream, yeah.
feet.
I'll have to look into
Yeah, I think I'd pick
that,
legs.
can
You can still function on 6 foot legs. You'd be mostly just in pants. I'm guessing it doesn't really affect my hips.
I feel like I'm going to end up going back to the
start
other
wearing little skirts.
service there, because
Yeah. I think if I had very long legs, I'd wear skirts.
I don't like working now.
There's something I didn't think I'd say when I woke up today.
But there you go. I suppose them's the breaks, innit? Maybe all in all it is the universe telling me to stop, considering nothing seems to work properly anymore. Do 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 do. Diddly dee 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 dee. Ah dear. Oh well, there's nothing obvious there. We shall, assuming that's still going, it does appear to be, yes. We'll pop into Gareth Valdi, as he did the honour of raiding us. We shall raid him. However, I suspect it's going to be very limited numbers and therefore of little worth, but you know, them's the breaks, I suppose. Anyway, I will say cheerio, and then I will start the raid, and then I'll turn off the stream. So cheerio.